Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. I'm speaking to Black creatives, especially right now. I know that my podcast reaches so many different people from every walk of life, but I'm speaking to my Black creatives. You need to take up space. You need to stop hesitating on whatever it is that you're trying to create. I don't care if you're trying to write a cookbook. I don't care if you're trying to write a novel. I don't care if you're trying to compose music. Whatever it is. You're in art school. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Take up space. Stop doubting your talents. Stop doubting if somebody is going to buy what it is that you are selling. Because there's an audience for everything. And I tell my clients all the time, you can't appeal to everybody. You can look at the general, group of your public and say, okay, what is it that my audience is looking for? What do they look for from you? Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You can have a certain model, but then tailor it to what your audience needs, what your audience wants. To all my Black creatives, take up space. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be a doctor. It does not matter if you're trying to be, the next amazing composer. Start putting your talent out there. Become an expert in your field. Start that podcast. I know people have found this podcast and they tell me that it has inspired them to start their own podcast. That's exactly what this is for, to inspire people. My podcast literally is an audio diary of my entrepreneurship and life journey. I realized that the other day. I was like, you know what? That's really what this podcast is. It's to give tips to you. It's to speak life into you. And there were times where I didn't even have it to speak life into myself because I was just going through so many things. We go through so many crazy things in life. You know what I mean? When you see people, whether it's public figures, celebrities, or whatever, just the everyday person who is, people may not even know who their name. People go through things. Even those amazing actors and actresses and all this sort of stuff, they go through things. But the difference with public figures and the general public is that when public figures go through things, they go through it publicly. Whereas you and I may go through things and we get to go through it on our own, in our own space. But I don't care what it is that you're going through, you can get past it. Don't let that cramp your creative style. Don't let that cramp your creative, those creative juices. Don't let it stop that. I know sometimes we get into a rut where we don't feel very creative, where we don't really feel like, we don't feel very inspired. That can happen. It does happen. But don't let that keep you in a space of not wanting to create. Don't let that keep you in a space where you just take whatever deal that comes along because you don't feel like doing the work. Make sure your brand deals work in your favor. Make sure the contracts and partnerships and ventures and collabs that you get into, make sure that you're getting something out of it as well. Because I've seen so many people hook up into bad collabs and bad deals because they don't really want to do the work to take up space. And taking up space means that you're walking in your gift. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting that song is not going to be dope. Stop doubting that book that you write nobody's going to read, because I'm telling you, there is a space for everyone. There is an audience for everything. There's a stage waiting for you to perform, and the audience is sitting right there waiting for you, and the stage is empty because you're not really trying to take up the space and use your gifts that God gave you. What are you waiting for? Life is going to keep moving along. And you want to be able to look back on your life when you're gray and old and say, you know what? I did a lot of things. I took chances. But I know people feel like life has to go a certain way. They have to live in a certain neighborhood. They have to have a certain car. They have to have a certain amount of money in the bank. Everything has to be perfect before they begin. And that's just not how life works. You could be missing out on great opportunities because you're hesitating or you're doubting what it is that you bring to the table. Stop doubting. So this is for any creative, but I'm specifically talking to my Black creatives because I see so many of us, myself included, hold back because we are afraid. Sometimes we're afraid of success. But we're in the mindset that, oh, nobody's going to like that, or they're going to think I'm annoying when I post. If I'm annoying you when I post things about my business, then maybe you're not my people. Maybe you're not my audience. Because if anything, I would expect that my people, my audience, would want to encourage the positivity that I'm bringing to the space. The one saying that I know a lot of us have heard is your vibe attracts your tribe. And it's so true. I've heard that for years, but not really digging deeper into the wording of all of that. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe, your energy, your aura is going to attract. That law of attraction thing is real. You put out bad vibes, people wonder why bad things keep happening to them all the time, and they're always in drama and always in foolishness, and that doesn't mean good people don't go through drama, but sometimes they may be good people, but they can't let go of the foolishness around them. That's another thing too. You may be the positive person and really have all this, amazing energy, but then you keep trying to bring people along with you for your journey that don't belong there. You know what I'm saying? Some people are on certain parts of your journey and only those parts of your journey for a reason. So don't let anybody hold you back. Don't let anybody, make you think that you can't do this or can't do that. People that you bring along in your journey should lift you up, and you should be lifting them up as well. But if they become this heavy baggage, like, an anvil, like you see those cartoons where somebody has an anvil chained to their foot. If people become that, and sometimes it be family, if we really gonna keep it for real, you have to make a change. Sometimes that change means hard decisions. So to my Black creatives, and of course this message can work for anybody, but I'm especially talking to my Black creatives because I've recently seen a whole lot of talented people in the Black community, the African diaspora in general, just holding back, and they know who they are. It's time for us to take up space and stop being afraid to walk in our gifts. That's all I have for you today. If you want to talk to me, Instagram is probably the easiest place. Just at me. Share this podcast with someone that you think would love some motivation. Yeah, I'm back in my bag, y'all. I'm doing it. I'm really doing it. It's a lot of work, but I'm doing it. So if you want to talk to me, Instagram is probably the easiest. I'm on there the most. At Onyx Queen Media on all socials. And I'll talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.